I've been skating in Adapt Hyperskate GTOs for a couple of years, but I've never skated in the Adapt Hyperskate GTO Speciale. My first session, I was just kind of creeping around behind the scenes around King Street West and Queen Street West, trying to get some good carves in, hitting some sequences, going over some rough. On my second day, it was all about bashing. I looked for a bunch of things to jump off of and stairs to roll down. What can I say about the Hyperskate GTO that my skating doesn't say, or that it's just not implicit? So besides just looking good, you know I used my Hyperskate GTO last year. I think I've been using the Adapt Hyperskate GTO for about 2 years, over a year at least. I've been using it in very rugged circumstances. I do sometimes think if it's too mucky or if it's too salty, I'm not going to bring it out. I treat this like the best pair of shoes I have. I want to wear it everywhere I can go, show it off. I mean, what's the use in having something so beautiful if you're not wearing it all the time? Now let's get down to the actual specifications of this skate. We've got waxed laces, which I love. It's got the lace enclosure, so it's just this and this. And the waxed laces really hold when you tighten them because it's got anodized eyelets, not painted, which means when you tighten in one area, it stays tight in one area instead of shifting to the other, if you're somewhat clever about how you lace. The laces are double waxed laces, and Peter from Adapt tells me they're the best you can find, and they're from Toronto, Ontario. It's a handmade skate from Holland, from the Adapt brand line of skates. So I guess the most important thing about this skate that I've never had before is the quattro mount, meaning it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact and fastening to the boot. This boot has also been thickened in the sole, and there's an extra layer of carbon here to make sure that everything is super solid. And I found the power transfer on my stride was just amazing. And what I mean by that is when I'm pushing off for my stride, I feel no bend at all. The boot's not super flexible laterally, it's just a little bit bendy, so you get some nice elastic assistance on your stride. And the frame, it just doesn't bend. So when you're pushing off, there's no give on this. This is one of the chunkiest frames I've ever had. I think it's a bit heavier, but it must be a bit heavier. I don't really know. Let's do a scientific. Yeah, this is a little bit lighter, but it's so indiscernible that I didn't really think about it until after I'd skated, and I found myself wondering, it must be heavier, and it didn't feel heavier. So I think because the fit for me was so snug, I was right up at the toe here, maybe a little close for comfort, but once I tightened the midfoot, I pushed right back and I had all the room I needed, and I felt like a sock. I forgot that I had a new skate on. The first 10 minutes, maybe the first 30 minutes, I puttered around the house and I was a little bit uncomfortable in the foot. I'm just not used to such great arch support. And these are brand new skates. It'll probably flatten out a little bit, but still give me the support. As far as the insole, they're using my sole from Fisher. I loved that one last time. Something else that's new is this flashy little chunk of metal that's simply there to keep this lace strap in. You can replace these lace straps, which is very helpful because I imagine it could fray. Again, my Hyperskate GTO original, I just have to point out here, this thing held incredibly well. The leather is still very beautiful. The frames, you can see a little bit of scuffing and wear and tear on the front point here. You can see that I did bang it, I did scratch it and scuff it, but really there's just no bend in this frame. It's just worked beautifully. The interior of this has been upgraded in the Hyperskate GTO Speciale. It's a denser foam. A slightly different consistency, a smoother consistency than the kind of athletic, socky kind of feel here, where this has like smaller pores. So it's a super dense foam. It's very comfortable around the ankle for me. Oh yes, this is a machined piece of steel, aluminum. This aluminum is said to be German quality aluminum, and I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it means it's very good. I also like that these are externally available. So the frame is made. The frame is made to accommodate a high-low setup. So I've got 90s on the back and 84s in the front, which for me I would consider a big wheel combination. It's not so big that it's ungainly, so I found the length very easy to manipulate. It's such a stable skate, and I think that's because it's a little lower than most skates with wheels of this size. See how it's sunken in here? The Quattro frame allows the wheels to be sunken in a little closer to the boot. So we've got a nice little forward tilt, so I'm reactive to take off instead of having to go through full flexion from the beginning of stride. Symmetrics wheels, as always. I love these wheels. Their bearings are amazing. This leather is waterproof, so I don't know why I would worry, but yes, I do try to keep it in good shape. Oh yeah, 90A, I forgot. These wheels are 90A, and I generally roll at like 85, 86A, but I really like the way these were on the road. They felt extremely fast, and I had no grippage issue. I didn't even check what hardness my wheels were before going out. I also really enjoy jumping in these. I enjoy jumping up onto things because they just feel so natural and footy, and I also like landing the new absorption in the heel. I did feel it's a very nice landing now. The other ones I found very comfortable on landing before, but when I maybe challenged myself or I found myself landing incorrectly, it might have been a little bit more brittle. So this improvement in the shock absorption I've noticed right away. So yes, Peter from Adapt is actually big time into race cars and race car design, and it really shows with this skate. This is like the supercar of skates. And I also like that they're handmade and they come from people in the skate industry who I communicate with. That's so important to me, to know the people who make my skates and the fact that they are also skaters. Wow. Thank you very much, Adapt brand, for the Adapt Hyperskate GTO Speciale.
So here's a very quick synopsis of some of this skate's highlights. So right away, there's nothing better than the lace and strap combination on the Adapt Hyperskate GTO Speciale. There's no better way to adjust your skates than using laces and a strap. And of course, I love the leather. Who doesn't? We're vegetarians, so I get that. The strength and the look of the carbon dialing is amazing. It felt very sleek on my feet. The Quattro frame is just insanely sturdy. There's no condition I can't take that frame into. And that's because it's machine framed with the famed German aluminum. Sliding into these is even better than the last skate. The Eva foam is intricately crafted in all the right places, quite thick and dense. And yeah, the lining seems quite breathable, but we'll see what happens after I've got a year of foot juice in there. Shock absorption is very important for these because when I got these on my feet, I just wanted to take them everywhere. These are the skates that I'm going to be wearing when I want to cut the city in half and just jump over things, skate hard in between. They're like the perfect all-rounder. The perfect enclosure system that keeps your foot in place. The one-piece boot with a little bit of flexibility. And the super stiff frame all add up to exceptional power transfer. My strides were powerful and my feet were very reactive in these Adapt Hyperskate GTO Speciales. Huge thanks to Sonic Sports LA, who is a valued sponsor of Pinto Pony Productions, a great supporter of my efforts with the video skate propaganda. Sharing. They've got that crazy little multi-tool that fits in your hand. They also carry bearings, bearing washing systems, dope inline pucks, and more. SonicSports.com. Oh yeah, also, huge thanks to Adapt for the t-shirts. Look amazing in them.
Why did skates start looking like a space shuttle? How did they get so plasticky? That's what this skate makes me wonder. There's just no more place for all this plastic and these little buckles that slide out. I just don't want to roll in on a cheap looking skate.